Yeah, that's pretty much it, Colby. Mute everyone. Mute all every game. Mute all. Focus on you. Your teammates, the reality of League is that oftentimes you get teammates that think it's like bad drivers that think that they're good drivers. You get these players that like will basically they do it, they think they're right, but they're sabotaging you with how wrong they are, and you can't get baited into dumb moves. No, mute. I mute all. I'm muting all on stream. People can watch the replays of previous streams. I'm very rarely typing now. I'll normally say something at the start of the game to be friendly and then mute everyone. Thanks for the 13 months in a row. Or if I forget to do it and people start bitching, I'll catch myself and be like, mute all. It's a habit that I'm very happy that I'm working up to. Reason of Insanity, welcome to the community. Thank you very much. Drop some hype train for that guy. Also, make sure to link your Discord. We got one of the best Discords going. Best communities on Twitch. Yeah, Dracola, it's pretty sad. Honestly, that's one of the things that I'm concerned about with voice chat is I really don't think that it'll be necessary to coordinate with people because you're going to bump heads a lot. You're going to butt heads with people thinking that they know everything. I think I'm generally going to take League as more of like a cerebral game and more of like a meditation type of game where it's like I'm adjusting, like, and I'm pretty happy with the results of adjusting so far. The game is kind of fun in a unique way of like beating the urge to freak the fuck out at idiots, and additionally focusing on preserving like KDA, getting really monstrous farm every game, and just playing solid. I think it makes the game more enjoyable, and you get upset a lot less, and you start to appreciate the times where you stay focused. You leave and you go, oh man, I kept my cool. Scrubba-lubba-dub-dub. Scrubba-lubba-tub-tub. Thank you. I said it right. Appreciate it. Drop some hype train for that guy too. Keep the subs going, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I think Grasp is probably good at higher elo. Super odd. Sub hype train is going strong. 2 months in a row. Super odd dod. Super odd dod. Hope I'm saying that right. Super raw dod. Zaratsu, there's still time. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, buddy. I'm assuming you're a Rick and Morty fan. Industrial Beast, 15 months in a row. Thank you. That's a long time, dude. Thanks. I mean, I'm not perfect. I had a game this morning where I yelled at somebody, and I very rarely have been typing in my games. I had a game before I went on stream where I yelled at somebody. I was playing, I think like GP versus Riven, and my bot lane was ahead, and they were rotating around the map, which is fine. And then Riven tries to all in, and it was a situation where she couldn't possibly kill me because I had like tabbies or something. And it was like a Tom Kench was like here and was pinging me, like basically saying, go, you know, I want to show up here and counter this. And I said, okay. So I kind of baited it, and I got really low, and he was here and I was like here, and I walked right up to him, and I know he has Devour up, and there was also a third teammate somewhere. It was like a third teammate was like here. And Riven's chasing me, and I'm really low, and I literally stopped. I like held position, I think, too. So it was like, Tom's here, I'm standing in front of him, and I literally pressed I used my side mouse button to stop. So I actually had that programmed, and he just stood there, and he watched me die, then basically stole the kill onto Riven from the jungler, and like watched me die. That was the most infuriating thing, because again, that was like something, like I'm working on not dying as often and playing every situation smart. And it was it wasn't even a close, like, oh, he may have been slow to eat. It was more of like a fucking, he just didn't do it. Like, he basically pinged me to go in and then just didn't eat and then made sure that he got the kill. And I was just like, you are garbage, is what I said in the chat. I was like, you are garbage. I was like, if anyone's garbage, it's you. And I very rarely yell at people in chat, but that's the type of play where I'm just like, you know, I really did play that whole situation about as smartly as possible, and that guy was just like out to fuck me over. It's like that guy's a dingus. But generally, I've been doing better at just being like, you know, what could I do better? But it's like, even spots like that, you start to ask yourself, it's like, am I bad for, you know, am I bad for trying to work that play? Is that a stupid play? And then you analyze it and you're like, do I ever, you know, do I have to rush any situation when my bot lane's out ahead? Probably not. So then you could actually deconstruct it, and then you could go back and be like, I don't have to do that at all. I don't have to set that play up ever. And if you start assuming that your teammates are trying to do things to screw you sometimes, you start to think about it, you're like, maybe I shouldn't even try to make that play. Maybe I should just make that guy engage instead of baiting for him to come and clean it up. That way I'm in control of the situation. Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where you start going back through and you're like, I could be mad at this guy, but it doesn't change. Is there some other way to play around that situation? And I also think another thing that helps with that, and I'll get into the next replay here in a second. I also think another thing that's helped me with this is I've started like going to the gym more and trying to be a little bit healthier. And I've noticed that it's like, it really does help you not get too worked up about stupid shit. If you have more things, see, the problem is, you guys got to understand from my perspective too, and this sounds obvious to people watching, but it's like, my job is to stream. So in order to be able to do this every day, right, I have to play a fuckload. And when I started streaming, it was very hard to keep up with my gym life stuff, because I didn't just kind of luck into streaming. People like, oh, streaming's luck. It's all luck. And I sitting over here and I'm like, and I know this sounds arrogant, hear me out, but I'm sitting over here as like, it wasn't luck for me, motherfucker. I wasn't playing in beta. I didn't have some like insane fucking hosting going on where someone hosted me 1 million viewers, you know, like 5,000 viewers every time. I didn't get into this business by being lucky. Which, again, I know I sound like I'm jerking myself off, but please hear me out, right? So when I got out of the military, I had money banked, right? I had enough money, like, I would say like 20,000 banked, so that I could pursue this, fail or succeed, right? And I mean, I put hours in. Anybody that's been watching this stream has known that I've been around for many years, and I wasn't making shit for the first couple years. So in order to play this game, it was like my life to play this fucking game. It was like my life. I was like playing 14, 16 hours a day standard, and I was streaming the majority of it, right? And I was getting shit for views and getting shit for donations. And I mean, I barely broke 50 for a long time. And now, obviously, I've been sustaining for a while, and I can go back and reevaluate and be like, man, I was insanely, like, incredibly unhealthy, to the point of where there were times where I was so shitty to play with, and I still have my days. I mean, I'm not perfect, but I was so shitty to play with, and I go back and I analyze it and I deconstruct it, and I'm like, it's because it was all I was doing, like, literally. I mean, getting the stream going and then playing League, that was it. So, that's why I think a lot of players fail, because or at least they don't really improve. It's because they don't have anything else going on. It's just league, right? Their other responsibilities fall behind. I mean, it's not to say that like going to the gym is you must do it or anything like that, or, you know, any of that. hanging out with friends. You don't have to do it. But I'm starting to really subscribe to the idea that, like, you have to have a balance. Like, you cannot, this game and the results of your gameplay cannot be the only thing that you're worried about, because if you do that, you will inevitably become a very, very, very unhappy person. Like, there's no way. Like, I'm married. I have a wife who I hang out with all the time. I go to the gym now a lot more often. I run. I'm training for a half marathon thing. I got a trip planned with my family. And simultaneously, my gameplay seems like it's getting better. And I'm playing less. And I'm like, huh. And I'm also getting less upset. And I'm also able to analyze the games with a more clear head. And I'm starting to think like, oh, you know, I'm sure there's a point where you're going to have to put crazy hours in, but after a certain time, League of Legends isn't some insanely mechanical game. It is at its core a lot like poker. So maybe I was just retarded for years. And now that I'm twisting the knobs and shifting the balance a little bit, I'm starting to see like, oh, I can actually enjoy this game a bit more and not get so retarded about whether or not we win or lose or what my team's doing or any of that. So I just thought I'd share that with you, and that's kind of what I'm striving for with my streams and with my games. And then, yeah, sometimes I talk shit about my teammates, but I'm very rarely typing it out these days, and I'm also very rarely looking at situations and going, oh, it's completely 100% teammate's fault. Even if I get mad at the teammate, I go, yeah, I fucking died here, and now I'm going to get shit on. Because, you know, not only did I fuck up, but my teammates suck. So now it's going to be doubly worse. So I think I'm getting better at it. One step at a time. Yeah, I'm telling you, Ray, it's true. It's true. It really does help. I believe in that. I know it sounds dumb, but I am convinced. I'm convinced that there's more to this game than just like mindlessly grinding like 12 hours a day. I think that if it's focused and smart practice, I mean, I do believe that you're gonna have to play a lot to get good at League eventually, but I also believe that like it isn't just the end all be. It isn't the cure all. Yeah, maybe it goes on YouTube. I don't know. Real talk, dude. I'll hit up my editor. All right, this is Kha'Zix's gameplay.